Hey there. I really straight up don't know what to talk about for the month of June. Um, I don't know, maybe you can tell me what you've been up to. I haven't been up to all that much. I listened to the entirety of The Adventure Zone Balance within the past month, and that was a wonderful ride. I've heard for ages that it was worth the listen, and I was not disappointed. Um, that was probably my big accomplishment this month. If you remember my May video, which I would still encourage you to go back and watch because I was super, super proud of that setup, and not as many people watched it as usual since it came out late in the month, but I think it was a really good one, so if you're looking for stuff to fill your time with, I would really plug that video for you because it was fun. But if you remember that setup, or if you just watched it now, I wrote a lot about it, and then I talked about it a little bit because I was busy rambling about other things, but I wrote down all these goals for writing. If you don't know or aren't caught up or are new here, I've been working on a book for quite a while now, at least a couple years, and I've completed the third draft. I actually completed that almost 6 months ago while I was in France. No, more than 6 months ago now. And it is well and truly time to dive back in with my revision for my fourth draft. And I came up with these goals for things that I wanted to tackle. And I made some progress with that, but basically I wanted to complete drafts or new drafts of several scenes that I had laid out for myself as my objectives for that month from my project and polish list, because I have a list of things that are going to be more work and more effort and really in depth, and I'm calling those projects. And then I have polishes, which are cut the cringy dialogue here and da 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 and give this character a new name, which I don't think will be as much work to complete. So I just kind of chose some projects to do and some polishes to do for the month of May, which was great in theory, but as I started working on them, I realized that I could definitely do some pre-writing and concept work on those scenes and figure out what they were about and what it is that I wanted to happen as I made changes to them, what I wanted it to end up as, what my goal was for the finished product. But it was really, really hard to completely rewrite those scenes. Oh my gosh, I thought I cut this clip out. Whoa. Now I feel like now I have to leave it in there. What was I saying? Anyways, holy cow, it was because of the caffeine, I guess. What was I saying? Talking about projects. Oh yeah, so I couldn't make myself sit down and rewrite them without going through the book in order. So my new kind of updated plan of action for rewriting my book is so I want to still do that pre-writing work and figuring out conceptually what's going on, whatever. But I also want to do the actual rewriting of the scenes in order. So for my new month of June, whatever, I am trying to focus on working on the manuscript itself, which would be rewriting the scenes separately from that like pre-writing work. So I'm going to try to do that like manuscript work in the early mornings when I've found is like the best time for me to write, and do the like conceptual stuff in the afternoons. And I haven't actually done either of those for kind of a while right now because I got sidetracked working on my shop update for my Etsy. Plug, 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 plug. If you love beautiful stickers, I would highly recommend checking that out. Or if you just like want to support me, or if you like don't want to get stickers but you know somebody who might, you might want to share that with them. Right now it looks like until further notice I can't work this summer, so this is kind of my thing for now, I guess, is my sticker shop. So if you can support that, or you know somebody who can, I encourage you to give it a go. Put it in order or spread the word to somebody who you think might like it. So for right now, what I did was I have been playing around with this idea of like these mini sheets because I think that that is faster for me to produce, and a lot of people have told me that they will order the sheets, but there's like one sticker on there that they just really, really like and always use first. So I did that with the Vine stickers that I used in my last month's setup, and then this month I made it with the fountain pen stickers, which I know that are pretty fun. I used to have them on my little freebies, but now I have a panel freebie instead, and I might be updating that too, actually. But I love these because they're this like little vertical long thing that can fill in space or act as like a header or border or whatever. And for the first time I made them in color, which is super exciting. And I like cleaned up the lines and like redrew them all and everything. So that's fun. And the other one is these tea shop stickers, which are my first foray into making full sheets on like clear paper. And as of the time that this video is up, I will have released these all in my Etsy shop. So yeah, and then I didn't use it in this video, but I also made a new tarot card vinyl sticker called the Star, which I think is like in the intro and outro little shots of my wall in my bedroom. So that's cute. Check that out. I actually really like the paper that I made those clear stickers on too, because it's super, super thin, like washi stickers. Which means that it like doesn't bulk up my journal at all, and I can use like endless amounts of these without creating a bunch of, well, bulk, I guess, in weird places on my paper. I feel like I've talked about this before, but I always like used to figure out where I wanted to stick down my stickers or my like photo print by laying out my journal flat and then feeling that left page right there, like just feeling it all up and like figuring out where it was the thickest and where it was the thinnest to like figure out where would be the best place to put on stickers to like balance out the width. It was, well, a little neurotic, but ultimately useful. Yeah. So that's why I haven't been writing that much this month, is because I was just thinking about all this and it was taking up all my brain space and blah blah blah. But yeah, I'm happy with what I made. But this month I think I'm going to try to focus a lot more on my book, because I really, really want to start shopping it out to agents this summer, which if this rewrite takes me a long time, I can't do. And then I will have student teaching in the fall, and that won't be a great time to be submitting stuff because that's a lot of work too, but maybe I'll have to, I don't know. Yeah, so I intend for this like fourth draft of my book to be my final-ish draft. I'm gonna say final. I hope it's really good, but we'll see. I found that with writing, I get so caught up on like the final beats and pulling the threads of the story together in the ending that I like really neglect the like opening scenes and the beginnings and introductions and everything, because I know that it's like really high stakes, the beginning is, so it makes me nervous and I just leave it, which of course doesn't make it better. So I'm going to work really, really hard on my opening chapters that people will be like reading first when they consider the book. And hopefully that means that this work that I have to do on it will be like front loaded, so if I want to start submitting, I can put in all that work at the beginning, but the ending of the book is in like really good shape, so hopefully it will be a lot of work here at the front end, but once I get that done, it'll be smoothish sailing. I say hopefully, knowing exactly how I am about revisions and perfectionism. So this is my little box that I made for myself. I didn't want to do like a schedule because I don't want to put like that much exact pressure on myself when waking up and writing the first thing will work kind of no matter what time it is. And also my days have been, I mean, obviously everybody's, well, not everybody's, but a lot of people's days have been like more fluid with the quarantine and everything. So it is, for me especially, like easy to just take a day and go drive around the Twin Cities with my siblings and see the sights and look at the river and whatever. We drove through the, like if you live in any of the states near the Mississippi River, I live in Minnesota, pretty close to the Twin Cities, so it's easy for me to go see. But if you live in any of the states near it, there's something called the Great River Road, which is like this incredibly beautiful drive that you can take kind of along the Mississippi River and see all the bluffs and trees and like hills and everything. And I did that with my mom and my two sisters the other day, and it was so beautiful. That's something that my family's been doing a lot lately, is just going on drives and chilling, I guess. We've also filled up our time with a lot of anime. My like guilty pleasure anime, Mermaid Melody. If you have ever watched this, please tell me, because I've never met anybody else who has watched it. But that was like my first anime ever, and I thought it was the best. And so now going back and rewatching it is like super nostalgic for me, and it's like an oldish magical girl anime, which, you know, is like kind of vibey. So that's been good, watching that in like the bathtub or whatever. And then we got through Cowboy Bebop. My sister and I have been trying to finish Psycho-Pass, but like all the gore is like really getting to me, so we took a step back from that. And trying to catch up on My Hero Academia, and definitely like a bunch of other ones that we watched like random pilots for and then dropped. If you have any good anime recommendations, please tell me, because I need things to do. And right now, like, I've discovered that watching animated shows is like fueling my visual art creativity so well that I'm trying to like make more time for it, because I get like story inspiration and visual art inspiration out of it, whereas with reading, like, it's just kind of story. Yeah, and I guess with that, my June setup is about done. Sorry for the cut off bottom right there. I'm working on getting a better camera setup, but you'll see it here. Yeah, it was kind of a lot of like word vomit and not so much planning, but that was what I needed as I made this. I hope that the month of June treats you kindly and you're able to carve out some moments of joy in the midst of all this craziness. Love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.